Hello, I am Gregory, the poor typist, and welcome to another edition of Typewriter Club Live. Yes. Um, yeah, I'm back again, believe it or not. And we do have a couple people joining us. Let me turn off the waiting room and let some people in. And I'll just remind you that Type Pals is and always will be free. So if you enjoy exchanging letters or postcards using your typewriters, feel free to join us at typepals.com. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you. I was actually starting to write a postcard in reply to Werner's card. He had sent me a
Oh,
postcard a while back. Where was this? Back in December. I'm still, and then I'm sending him a postcard from Pie Town, New Mexico. So the Pioneer Cafe. So,
cool.
yep. Anyway,
Excellent.
yep. Just dropped his card. So, how are you doing?
Good, good. Yeah. And that typewriter looks familiar.
Oh yeah, this is the little Royal Saturn, which, when I was doing my videos, I did a couple videos about this, but in my video editor, I make a project folder, right, for all the videos for this thing. And I happen to name it the Royal Jupiter in the project folder. And then I
Oh.
and then I looked at it, Jupiter, that's Saturn. So apparently I'm really confused about the gas giant planets and all that. So,
Oh boy.
yeah.
And how are you liking it?
I do like it a lot, actually. It uses a 9/16 ribbon. So I got one of those from Lonnie at the Ribbons Unlimited, nice and darkly inked. And it's on right now. I don't know if you can hear it. So,
No.
oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's off and that's on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good. I like it, actually. Very nice.
Do you know what year it is?
It's 1971. I think it's the same year as my Royal Mercury.
Oh, okay.
There's
I'm
not
I'm
too many of
wondering.
these. There's not too many of these on the database, but I think the Silver Seiko machines, the first digit of the serial number is the date, is the year code. So it
Okay.
starts with a one. So I think it's 71. So
Okay. So I'm wondering, because I have a Royal Apollo, and I'm wondering
yeah.
which came first.
Well, and then so Kevin has the Royal 1500, which is
Okay.
very similar to this. It's just, I think it has maybe a touch selector, a couple little feet. This has fixed tabs every 10 spaces, but
Ah,
yeah, his is just slightly higher in model, but it's the same, almost identical, right? It's to the same thing. So,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. I,
But
I don't know offhand what year my Apollo is, but just by the look of it, it doesn't look quite as sleek as yours.
yeah,
So I'm guessing it's earlier, but I don't know
it,
for sure.
maybe different styling. I mean, even Kevin's 1500 is different from this. So maybe they each
Okay.
one had a different style to it.
Okay.
And the other
Okay.
thing about it, okay, there is a model number on the back that actually it says it's a model 8 SP 8000. Right. I have to focus it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's SP 8000 right there. And Kevin's was an SP 8500. So
Okay.
it has a real model number on the back, and then it has the kind of marketing model name on the machine, the Saturn. So,
Yeah.
so two different model numbers, which is kind of confusing.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of the Canon Type Stars, how they have, a legitimate model number, and then they just call it the Type Star or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it is kind of funny. And
Yeah.
just like with Kevin's, his is a plastic body shell. It's a little difficult to get the ribbon cover off because it uses a metal post in a rubber O-ring, but you have to kind of give it a little
Yeah.
because the ribbon cover is a little flexible. I mean, the plastic, it's a good thing. The plastic is not brittle, but
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
so anyways.
Yeah, I have one or two typewriters that are like that, that you feel like in pulling the ribbon cover off, you're going to break it.
Yeah, I think what works better is to put a little flat blade screwdriver underneath here and just kind of try to
Oh,
give it some force from underneath. It works pretty good.
yeah.
But mechanically, it's identical to Kevin's as far as the whole layout, and it really is just like the Mercury, except it's electric, you know. So
Okay. And how is that soundproofing working out for you? I really enjoyed that video. It
oh,
was
thanks.
very satisfying seeing you install all that.
Well, it was fun. Yeah, it works really good. You know, I had the chassis out of the body shell and I test typed with it on the desk here, and it was quite a bit louder. Definitely. It does make a difference. So
Okay.
yeah. But it's really
Nice.
small chassis though. It reminds me, you know, that this is maybe one of the smallest electric typewriters ever made. I think the brothers are probably a little bigger. So
Yeah, yeah. Now, in the video, you were like really packed in the foam. So I'm wondering, in retrospect, are there any other areas that you feel like maybe could have used some foam or?
not really. I think I fit as much as I could have in there and still give
Yeah,
clearance. Like
yeah.
bottom of the ribbon cover, I was using that thin 2 millimeter adhesive foam underneath it, but I don't think there's a quarter-inch enough gap to put the quarter-inch foam stuff, you know, the denser foam. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I left an open spot along where the motor pulley was. I originally tried to use foam and kind of cut it back, but I kept hearing it rubbing. So I just
Mm,
took it out and used the thin black adhesive foam, and it worked pretty well. So yeah, I put
yeah.
about as much as you could possibly fit in here.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
have the machine work properly. So
Exactly. Also in that video, as you were running it with the chassis off, uh, or the chassis out, I should say. Um, oops. The belt looked like it was in super good condition. Like I
yeah,
didn't see any warp or anything to it.
no, it was a really good shape, and it's a flat belt, so that means it's probably going to be easier to find a replacement for eventually if I need to. Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
also when you put a lot of load on the belt, like I guess doing the repetitive X or periods or whatever, you can kind of watch and see how much the belt jumps. Like if there's, because then when you put more load
Ah,
on it, and it doesn't do that too much. So I think it's not too stretched. So
excellent, excellent.
yeah, but it's nice
Very
and
cool.
quiet. It really is.
Yes, yes.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
very cool.
And I also enjoyed your video about the type in. I guess it's south of you. Is that right?
Yeah, down by in Las Cruces, which is like north of El Paso by, I don't know, 30 miles, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, the Las Cruces culture is more closely tied in with El Paso because they're so much closer than Albuquerque. You have the vast 200 something miles between Albuquerque and El Paso, and with the vast wastelands of the White Sands Missile Range and all that. So, but yeah, it was
Okay.
it was a fun crew of people down there, very enthusiastic. And I really hadn't spent much time in the old downtown section of Las Cruces, but it was quite fun. It was a good place and very enthusiastic people. And it reminds me that there's always new people that are already into typewriters that you don't even know anything about. And really the thing is connecting with them, right? Through social
Yep.
media or showing up at, I really think showing up at their type in and giving them support was really important, and they really appreciated it. So
Yeah. And
How
I believe you took the Groma Calibri.
yeah, I
Is that
did.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Very cool.
how exciting. I would just have no thought or clue that anybody would be interested in typewriters in a farming town like Las Cruces. I mean, there's just so little there, but there were
Right.
handfuls of people, right, Joe?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How
It was two
exciting.
guys that started this thing. They were both typewriter enthusiasts, and the one guy is is an amateur repairman. You know, he's fixing typewriters for people, but he's learning as he's going. He's doing really well. He's made his own tools, special tools, and it's just great to see that kind of grassroots, you know, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps kind of thing going on, and it gives you hope that there's other places in the country that are like that also, you know, little communities that are micro communities of typewriter enthusiasts. And I
Yeah,
think it's to kind of connect us together into bigger communities.
that's so great. I mean, it just Las Cruces is like Riverside. It's so working class. You don't know who would be too interested in old typewriters, but I'm glad, and I'm glad he says it like that. I'm just an amateur repair guy learning as I go.
Yeah,
There's so much of that in this world, and good for him.
I
How
know.
exciting.
Yeah, and it was fun to see some people, you know, middle-aged and that have used to operate typewriters in school or whatever, and it's fun to see them get back to typewriters and sit down and enjoy them. And then there was this young high school gal who was prolific, really a great typist, and she had the great technique, and she was just flying on one of those Smith Coronas. So it was
That's
great to see young
cool.
people so enthusiastic, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. Good
Yeah.
for you, Joe. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I have their email contacts, and we're going to try to put them on the mailing list and let them know of the upcoming type-ins in Albuquerque. So, which we do have one coming up in June 25th.
Oh, cool.
So
Very
yeah.
cool. And is there anything else new with you? Anything in the pipeline or anything like that?
Well, let's see the pipeline. I don't know if do I have a pipeline?
I think you have like a little
It's a
note
little
thingy.
brook. Yeah, actually, I do have a 15 character per inch print wheel for my brother Daisy wheel that I bought from Bill Wall when we were over in Phoenix a couple months ago, and I've been meaning to do a video about that because like right now I'm typing a postcard note on a little sticker, but if I had a 15 character per inch print wheel, you could basically put an entire normal sheet's worth of content on a little sticker with a 15 character per inch wheel. So I mean, I think there's a video there potentially about, you know, Daisy wheel typewriters. You can find a 15 character per inch print wheel. You have yourself a special little thing that it can do. And it's hard to find a type bar machine with 15 character per inch. You know, they're
Oh
out there,
yeah.
they're rare. So yeah, that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah,
I
so then my SM9, I printed those little keycaps. You might have
ah
seen that video, and I'll probably break it out here later when I'm done with the postcard. The machine still has a little problem with kind of like snarling the type bars when you're typing, and I'm kind of sloppy at times, but I was testing it the other day and I noticed that it would snarl 3 type bars together, and I would stop and look at which keys they were, and it was always a 3-letter group that began with an I, like ING or ION or something like that. So
huh.
I'm thinking the I key is slow to retract. And so then it's snarling up with the others. But when I do my little test, I put it up on its back, I pull the universal bar out of the way, and I kind of test the I key to see if it can raise back up on its own. It looks the same as the others, but it's a little sluggish at times, I guess. So I'm going to have to, maybe the spring on that particular key linkage is a little weak, and maybe I just need to increase the tension on that spring. That probably would fix it also. So yeah, I'm doing a little test typing on it, but the extra keycap that I put on top of the A key for that machine, it elevates the key up above about maybe 5 millimeters, quarter inch, and it enables me to hit the A key without hitting the shift lock, you know. So
Yeah.
that was the intention of that thing, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that was a fun little project. I was hoping that I could make those keycaps so I could fit them over all the keys, at least all the alphabetic keys. And then you could kind of do what computer keyboard fanatics do, and they have those mechanical keyboards with custom colors on the keys.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that I don't have a 3D printer with a dual nozzle, but I can't really make letters engraved in the keycaps with a 3D printer. But what I can do is I can print the keycaps with the letters as a recess, and then I would fill them up with colored epoxy with a syringe. Just, it would be a very delicate kind of thing. You'd have to fill them all in, but that's what if I can design a keycap that fits, that doesn't interfere with the neighboring keycaps. And it might be that I can't do this with the SM9. It might be a different typewriter that has smaller keys and more space between them, that I'll probably do that. And it would be, if you imagine one of those dingy, drab, mid-century gray or, brown Smith Coronas or something, it would be great to liven those things up with some bright colored keycaps. So that might be something fun to do in the future. If I'm ever able to do that, I'll certainly share the files with everybody.
Very cool.
You can use that fill-in paint too instead of syringe. Where you wipe it in and then wipe it off.
Oh yes, good idea.
Paint stick.
Paint stick. Yeah, the only concern I have is like with the 3D printing, you have this texture of the filament, and when you wipe it off, the film, that paint stick stuff might get stuck in the little grooves of the filament texture. It's something you could use a fine brush and just like put some acrylic paint in there and let it dry or something, right? Yeah, there's a number of ways to do it. It'll take some practice and some testing, but it promises to be a fun project. I mean, I envision at least the alphabetic keys being a different color. That would be fun. And then leave the number keys and the others different, And I'm sure Brian is sitting there thinking to himself, oh, that sounds like a great idea, right? Brian is probably a computer keyboard nut, right?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I've thought about it.
Yeah.
I think what you might have to do, Joe, is do your 3D prints, but engrave the letters extra deep and then sand the tops a little bit before you fill them in.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's really a good idea. Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
I like it. It's funny about 3D printing because I'm new to this and I got in it through my friend Ethan, but there's kind of like the culture of 3D printing came out from probably the gaming culture or something, where people wanted to be able to use software only to build physical objects. And so there's kind of like this phobia about handiwork.
Yeah.
Like they would rather 3D print something than file a piece of wood. They'd rather 3D print a piece of plastic. But I think to make a finished part that looks decent, you still have to do a certain amount of handiwork at the end of it, like polishing, filing, smoothing, trimming, that kind of stuff, So
Definitely.
You can't get away from it. It's a craftsmanship.
Excellent. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Joe.
It's great seeing you guys, and it's nice being seen. It beats the alternative. So
definitely.
I was going to give a shout out to Bob also, that I saw your what is it, your Facebook post a couple weeks ago where you outed yourself.
So I've outed myself. Sorry.
You can talk about that later if you want.
Sure. You have a couch? I can pay by the hour.
Yes. I'll get you a cup of coffee and we'll sit down and we'll talk.
Nice chair. Yeah.
Nice chair.
Yeah. No, it's it's a whole new world.
Yes. Very good.
Yep. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm really well. I've been busy.
Yeah, and exciting things going on.
Lots of exciting things. Yeah, I've been. Last weekend I had a couple shows with the band, but then I was over on Vancouver Island and I picked up a Smith Corona Super that was there on my way through, and there was a guy who contacted me. He had been fixing typewriters for years, and then the shop closed in '92. And he said, I took all the parts with me. Do you want them? And so I said, yes, I do. So I finally picked them up, and it's all of these. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wait. No, you can't.
Kind of blown out right now.
Terrible. Yeah, that blew out. There we go. And it's bins after bins after bins.
Oh, wow.
Of IBM Selectric stuff, but there's some manual stuff, a lot of new old stock. There we go. A lot of new old stock. I haven't gone through it yet. It's kind of daunting.
Yeah, I don't like you anymore, Brendan. We're not friends.
Oh,
I'll send you a bin.
No.
I'll randomly select drawers and ship them to you.
That's so cool. Good for you, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's like a, the mother load right there that I've got to go through it all. And it was really cool week. So on Monday, I went to the CBC radio. They wanted to do a little segment on me and Dave Benning. And so we did that on the radio. And the next day they did a social media blitz thing for their Instagram and stuff. So, and then another thing came out yesterday about us. And then somebody from the Vancouver International Airport heard the news story, and they contacted us, and they wanted to put a bunch of typewriters on display at the airport for 6 months.
Wow.
So, yeah, so you don't get exposure like that, 1.5 million people or whatever it is, 3 million people walk through it so yeah, so we're gonna set that up in the next little bit. And then the Surrey International Writers Conference hired us to do an event, a typewriter event at their conference in October. So we have a bunch of ideas to do. We're gonna have a few head-to-head egg timer, competition things with the same machines. We're gonna have about 3 never-ending story machines. So we'll have a roll of paper that goes in, and it's all full of writers. This conference, the hotel is full, and so we'll have like a romance machine and an adventure machine and a mystery machine, and with a roll, and the people will read it and then just continue on, and over the weekend they'll see what comes of their story. So we just have a bunch of different ideas. I was going to ask Sean about borrowing a bunch of his attire so I can look the part, get the press hat and the fake cigarettes. Yeah. So so that's it's been a busy week just with that. So I bought a few machines, found Facet TP1 that's listed as a Comda, and yes, Ted, I will get it on the database. I've been very neglectful of that. I just checked my typewriter database. I only have 3 machines on there, and it's shame on me. I have so many that I got to get on there. And here's a blanket question: what do people use to reduce the photo size? Because that's the thing that keeps me from doing it, really, because it's an extra step. You got to.
Yeah, I use Microsoft Paint.
What is it?
I use Microsoft Paint.
Okay.
Not that that's a good idea, but it's possible to do with Paint.
Yeah,
okay.
It'll work.
Okay. Cool.
There's also the GIMP you can get for free that you can mess with photos with. I use Photoshop 7, so I'm not an expert in these things. It's like I use a program that came out in 2002. So
okay, an old pull start.
If you're on a Mac, you can use the preview mode when you open up a picture in preview mode, and there's a function for file size, and you can just give it a percentage, so it has to be less than 2 megabytes, I think, to upload to the database. So if it's, let's say, 10 megabyte picture or whatever, you just give it 25%.
20%.
Yeah,
right.
give it a percentage, and then it'll tell you what size it's now at. And you can kind of do that, maybe adjust it if you need to. Yeah. So that's
cool. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get on it, and I'll do 1 or 2 a day. So I've got about a half a year's worth of machines to do then. So,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I got a lot. But it's been a busy week. It just keeps going. And I've had this an old 40s Royal QDL that's driving me nuts. Somebody gave it to me and wanted it fixed, and I lowballed them, and then now I'm shooting myself in the foot.
Yeah, you're gonna regret that.
Driving me crazy. But it's hard to go back to. It's sitting there, and I'm just ignoring it. It's like I'm trying to make it go away. but it's sitting there, so I'll get to it.
You know, if you ignore it and the customer ignores it long enough, then it does go away.
Yeah. I'm actually today, while we're doing this, I'm going to be responding to my TypePal letters. I've got 3. I got Andrew's done, just getting Robert's ready for Germany, and yeah, it's and Bill, you got 3. So yeah, I'm gonna be
Nice.
returning some emails or some mails, not emails. And yeah, that's been it's been a kind of a whirlwind week, couple weeks. So I got this weekend off. I might not be around for the next few weeks because I got shows with the band on the road. So and I'm picking up machines on the way. Every town we play, I'm like, oh, is there a machine there? And so I've got a brother, I've got a Hermes 2000. I'm picking up like Skywriter and something else. I can't remember what it is. Oh, yeah, a Smith Corona, small one, little one. But yeah, that's what I got going on. It's been busy, and yeah.
Nice.
It's been exciting.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, paid typewriter gig is pretty good at the Surrey International Writers Conference. So
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna take it on the road.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, it's so good to see you, Brendan.
Yeah, thanks.
Diane, how are you doing? I was enjoying the kitty cam earlier. We had a face-to-face with your cat.
Yeah, I did that on purpose because he was playing around on the floor.
Oh.
Yep. I was emptying the bag and finding a lot of old stuff I haven't seen in a really long time there, and well, it is what it is.
Excellent. And do you have anything new going on? Any
Oh, I think you've been waiting for 2 weeks now. Feels like it.
I think so, yeah.
You didn't get to see it last week.
I know.
And I've moved it off of its base, so you can't see it on the base.
Oh.
Well, I was trying to clean it up, and having it sitting on a board is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Oops.
It looks like a barbecue.
Well, that's the lid.
Yeah.
So here is said Grail machine.
Wow.
That's Premiere 9. There we go. 9.
You finally have it.
Yay. So yep, here's the I cleaned up the keyboard a little bit yesterday. I was gonna put a ribbon in, but I didn't get that far. Thank you, fuzzballs.
Ah. Yeah, those super wide ribbons.
Yeah, I tucked it away. Here we have instructions for using the trichrome machine, because it is a trichrome machine.
Wow.
And so here we have the ribbon path. It obviously comes up through the slot here and fits under here. Under here, it goes under, up, over, under, out to the other side.
Wow.
There's a diagram in here.
Wow.
I'll just show the diagram. That's what it looks like when it goes.
That's cool.
Yeah. My goodness.
So yeah, it's got here. It's I have never ever seen a division symbol on a typewriter, but this one has one.
Wow.
you know, the line with the two dots, that is not a percent. The percent is immediately beneath it. But that's a, you know, multiplication sign, a division sign, a plus sign, and it's got an equal sign. It even has an exclamation mark,
Wow.
as well as a German mark. And a Pfennig. I was told by Peter Stewart this is a Pfennig symbol.
Interesting.
I had
What
never
year is that?
seen
What year?
1907.
Wow.
Had typewriters figured out to have a shift key yet by then?
Yes, is the answer to that question. And I say that because I have a Remington upstrike, a number 6 from 1897, and it does have a shift key, but it's still a blind typer. But yeah, I think Underwood came out in what, 1902 or so, or thereabouts. So yeah, they had figured it out.
But they had a whole pile of parts left that they had to use. A bunch of
Well,
single lowercase keys that they're like, oh, what do we do with these? Oh, let's keep making them until we run out.
well, they do have there's one visible, and I use that distinction because that's the only way I can say it. The visible versus the upstrike. There's one visible machine that Smith Premier made that has the double keyboard still, but they're the only one who had a visible double keyboard model, and that was the last. I mean, yeah, Remington bought them, so there are some out there that say Remington and Smith Premier on it, and some that just say Remington, I think. But because Remington bought Smith Premier out at whatever, I don't know the exact dates or history, but anyway. So yes, this completes the upstrike set. I mean, yeah, there's like others that I could try and get, but I think I'm good with this. It's like I don't know that I really need the tabulator version where it's called a Gorin tabulator. So you would have a bunch of rods sticking. Sorry, you'd have yeah. There's actually Gorin tabulators on the. What are you doing? Oh, sorry. There's actually models on the database that have the tabulator. It's like a decimal tabulator for the Smith Premier, and they call it the Gorin, Gorin tabulator. It's like looking in the model list. If you're looking for the galleries that there, I think there's, I don't know, I know there's Smith Premier 1 had a couple of sorry.
Life with cats.
Life with cats, and he's trying to tell me something.
Oh.
Yes, he just there's an Olympia SG1 back there, and it gets jumped on frequently. It can handle it. These no. let's not jump on these, but he can jump on the SG1 and it can handle it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I have seen, I actually had a chance to get a Gorin tabulator, but it was a parts machine, and at the time, I don't think it was at Herman's the year that I think it was 2018. That was the year it rained. And my friend Lee Whitaker, who was driving, we didn't have any more space left for another machine in her car, in her vehicle, because I rode with her there.
Oh.
Because yeah, I would basically drive to her house, spend the night, and then we would go to Herman's the next day. It's quite a drive from here. So, but yeah, there's several different models of Smith Premier keyboards. There's the the one where, and it's easier for me just to show it, where you have half the keyboard going this way, where one's white and the other one's black, or vice versa, and that's the linotype or linotype, however you pronounce that. You'll see those on a few of those on the database. Yeah, I got as far as pulling the ribbon to one side. So yes, here is here is a big purple ribbon
Yeah.
with complete with holes and
Yep.
oh yeah, this one, according to the Model 10 manual, the carriage can be easily removed. Of course, do they actually tell you how that happens? No. But my belief is there's a knob like this on each side, and I think I believe that this is what enables it. I have not tried to do that because frankly, I don't want to go there. It does not detail how to remove it in the manual. And I have not seen a manual for the 9. Sorry, cat is running in the distance, and I'm good with it. Yeah. Anyway, in the Model 10 manual, it just mentions that yes, this feature was introduced on the Model 9, but it does not say how to do it on the Model 10. Nor is it mentioned on, how to do it on the Model 9. It just mentions that it's there, and I think this is. I wish I could make it bigger, but I can't. Just the way this looks, it looks like this is how it can be removed, but like I said, I am not going there.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Well, honestly, I really can't. It doesn't really want to move, and like I said, I really don't want to go there. It's I'm just happy to have my little Grail machine, little Grail
Large.
machine. Yeah, it's not really. There's nothing little about it, but.
That is a nice looking typewriter.
It really is. Let's see if I can open this. Not when I can't see what I'm doing. I was going to show you what this looks like when you can how to actually get the ribbon.
Where did you get it?
I'm sorry?
Where did you get that machine?
eBay.
Wow, and they shipped it. Obviously, they shipped
eBay,
it out there.
frankly, ebay.de is where I got it.
Oh, Germany.
Yeah, one of the well, it's not going to cooperate today, and it's not going to come off. It's not going to open for me. It's not open, says me, I mean, obviously, if I'm going to put the ribbon on, I have to get it back open again, but it's being just kind of a little, there it comes. And of course, it's hard to show you this in the dark. So it opens up like this. And this is how you get the ribbon to stay in there. There's little prongs there.
Little teeth, yeah.
Little teeth there, and I don't want to mess it up right this. Oh, and I don't know. I don't think you guys can hear this, but I always try anyway.
No,
I don't know if you could hear that or not.
no.
Just barely.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah, I forget that Zoom doesn't
Yeah.
like doing stuff like that. And with a bell that's this big, they're cool. There's just I have not heard a better bell, a more nice bell than these.
Yeah.
You can turn on original sound for musicians on your settings, and that might bring in that sound.
Yeah.
Original what?
Use original audio, something like that.
Yeah, if you go to the little arrow by your mute button, um,
By my mute button. Oh, okay. I see.
uh,
Okay.
and probably go to the audio settings, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm leading you astray. Actually, if you hover
No,
over this,
you're not.
I think oh, okay. If you hover over the screen, the top left, it's interesting how they changed the name of it. It does say original sound for musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to
On
just
the-
say original sound. So like hover over the picture.
Over my picture? Okay.
Yeah, and then in the upper left it should say original sound for musicians off, and then you click that and you should be able to turn it on.
I don't on the microphone settings? I'm confused.
No,
Yeah.
on the main
Oh.
screen of Zoom.
Okay.
It is in those audio settings also at the very bottom.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why don't I okay, audio settings. It's easier to find it in audio settings. Okay.
Let's just be real. The sound of a typewriter bell is music to our
Oh, I
ears.
see it.
Oh,
I see it. What?
The sound of a typewriter bell is music to our ears.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if we can do it.
Oh, I still didn't do it.
Oh, well, crud. I turned it off. Original sound for museum. Let's see.
You want it on.
Yeah, I have it selected. Original
Okay.
sound for
I guess you
musicians.
just have to hit it harder. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, yeah.
Get your
I think
drumstick.
I have to get it closer. That's the problem. I don't know where the mic is on this silly thing, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, where do they have the microphone on these laptops?
it's usually by the camera, I believe.
Well,
Mhm.
I'll
Right on the camera, like right next to the light on my computer.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you got it that time or not.
no.
No.
Oh
Oh
well.
man. You're teasing
Live
us.
Well, I'm doing my best. Live performance audio. Maybe that'll help. Oh, background and effects, no. Recording, no audio. Automatically
st-
adjust microphone volume. Well,
You still need to make your own YouTube channel and put some videos because you have some fascinating typewriters in your collection. We lost your picture.
yeah, my picture was there. I was trying to get the I was trying to crank up the input volume and then turn the camera towards the
Oh,
Yeah, it's tricky. I have one of these things that I
Now you're
block the
too
camera.
loud. You're overmodulated.
I'm sorry.
You're overmodulated. Your microphone is too loud now.
Oh, whoops. I
It's all
cranked
my
it up.
fault.
I
Oh.
cranked it up a little bit. Sorry.
That's okay. You're trying your best, so
Is this what it's going to be like when people are living on Mars and we're trying to Zoom call them, and then there's like a 2-hour delay in the radio signal or whatever?
Be a long conversation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, yeah,
Well,
thank you for
sorry.
trying, Diane.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
have to revert my settings, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And other than the Smith Premier, is there anything else new with you? Any accessories or paraphernalia?
Well, it wasn't meant as paraphernalia, to be honest, but it came in the box. So let me turn off this light. let me put the lid back on. Yeah, the lid. Well, that's what it is, a lid.
Put
You
the
need to
lid back
prepare
on the
yourself.
barbecue.
You guys need to prepare yourself for super awesome typewriter stuff here. This is amazing. I mean, we
Yes,
got to see
Saturday
this last
night
night.
crew saw this.
It's so great. Brace yourself for awesome calendar stuff.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, I turned on my light in an attempt to make it easier to see.
Ah,
I have to set my computer down too, so. Yes, this is a
oh,
calendar. It was included as packing. I don't know. It was included in the box with the Smith Premier 9. It's from 1985.
wow.
As it says office art. And I'll show you the I'll just do January because it's up. So here's the picture for January.
Or Januar.
Well, yeah. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
That's
because
beauty. Love it.
nice.
yeah, who puts out a calendar this big? I
Wow,
Hard to
mean,
tell
I
what day of
know.
the week it is, too.
here's a normal piece of paper,
Wow.
or the current typewriter calendar
Yeah.
for scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
very cool.
I didn't realize this was coming here, and I'm not sure, but I wonder if they took the typewriter and arranged the numbers to sort of look like the arrangement of the keys. Because I
Yeah.
just noticed it's not the same month to month.
I think that calendar definitely qualifies as art.
It does. I mean, I think this is the March entry,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like kind of an old index typewriter, and look at how they did the days.
Wow.
I just kind of noticed that, and it's like, well, that's different. You don't see this every day.
Yeah.
That's neat.
It really is. I was not expecting that to come in here. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's from 1985, but I've got really cool big pictures of this is a Lambert machine, and so
Well, every once in a while that calendar will work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a big nail on the wall just to hold it up. It's so big.
Every 14 years, it'll work
Yeah.
again.
Every 14 years. Wow. That is really cool though.
Yeah, that I thought that was really cool. It came with the machine, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of full. It was just kind of in there, I think, part of the protective packing, but hey, it's cool in and of itself. So
Yeah.
2027, that calendar will work again. So in 4 more
okay.
years. Yeah.
Wow. And have you selected the place to hang it?
Right now, no. It sits on the top of the typewriters.
Oh, okay.
It sits up there for right now because of a friend.
Oh, he ran away.
I know.
He's like, I've been caught. That is funny. Oh
Elliot.
man.
Typo kitty.
Oh wow, that is very, very cool. I love that. Yeah. I just don't know where you write your appointments on there though.
I don't think it's meant for writing appointments on.
Actually, you know what? There's plenty of room. You could just put post-it notes on there.
Ooh, I just turned to the back. Oh, this thing's heavy. And
Uh-oh.
it has basically the entire calendar.
Wow. Can you tell what all the text is? Is that like descriptions or like of the different
It is.
typewriters?
It's like here you have the Lambert 1896. And it looks like it's a background on the typewriter. Of course, it's in German.
Yeah.
I can only read, the bits that are in English.
Yeah.
But here we have the Crandall, the Salter Model 5, and I don't know. I see Uwe Brecker's name on here. He's I think he has that auction service over in Europe. He does.
Oh.
I think I hear a lot of the early machines come out of there, out of his auction place. Nixdorf Computer AG. And I don't know if they're still in existence or not. But that's the name on the front of the calendar.
Yeah. Wow.
So here we have a Shoals Visible 1901 is on there. It looks like November, maybe. I haven't really gone through the whole calendar yet.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh gee. So this is
Wow.
one way to collect the uncollectible. Have a calendar.
Yeah. Wow. And they just threw that in for free.
What?
They just threw that in for free?
They did.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a case of, okay, the auction was not originally for US, but basically I won it, and I did communicate beforehand, and yes, I'm willing to pay for the shipping and all that, and
Yeah.
They obviously packed it pretty good.
they packed it well. I'd say I got my money's worth on that. The box is still in the garage.
It must be a large box.
Well, it's actually on my Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to not roll over my cat.
I know.
That's kind of hard to do. But let's see if I can find it real quick. There is no real quick in my view. Oh yes, the box.
Let me zoom in on that. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big box.
Yeah.
Lots of packing material inside, styrofoam forms to hold it, and it was well packed. It weighed about 70 pounds, I think. I think it said 27 kilograms, and
Okay.
that comes out to be 70 pounds. So it
Wow.
not light. And I had to be careful when I pulled it out to make sure I didn't just pull it you can't pull it by the handle. I mean, that was the intent originally, but no, I had to make sure I reached underneath the base of the machine and pulled it up that way. So yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the base is interesting. The base and the lid are very interesting. I've never seen them together and intact before, because there's little rods in there that you push back to like open up the hooks on the back, and you put the lid down over the typewriter, and then you push in the hook, for lack of a better description. You push it forward, and it comes out through the front, and you have to make sure you have the slot on the front of the lid lined up so that you can then move the locking mechanism through that hoop.
Wow.
So it's a little complicated. I could show that if you want, but I'm really yakking on today.
Well, you've shown us some very interesting things though. So I'm very happy that you finally got your gray old typewriter.
I'll have to show the whole base thing, the base lid mechanism at a different time, because I
Yeah.
want to give everybody else time to talk
Oh,
today.
that's
So
very kind
we'll
of
show
you.
that at another time.
Okay.
When
Excellent.
everybody gets their Grail typewriter, do we all say, "Oh, as soon as I get that one, I'm not buying anymore"? I did that about a year and a half ago with the Groma Calibri, and that's when it kind of just started.
Yeah.
What, you started buying more?
Yeah. I always said, "Oh man, when I get one of those, that's the last one I want." And then
Well,
they
as
don't
far
let
as
me
the
stop.
collection of that particular model, I'm good with it. But of course, do I still see it's like, ooh, gee, that one looks really nice. And I do, there's actually one relatively locally that it's like, oh yeah, that looks nice, and it's on a type, it's a gray royal. I think Katie was telling me it was a Victory or something last night. The thing about it is it's got the ribbon cover, we push button, the ribbon covers come down over it. And I actually don't have one of those, A, and B, it's in really nice condition. And in C, it's on this stand, and it's one of those with it doesn't have a lid. It doesn't have it doesn't have it. There's nothing there. There's places for the feet to go. I don't know if it's a Tiffany table or not, but anyway, whatever it is. She's gonna do a
Yeah,
visual.
she's talking about, it's a KH, I believe.
Oh,
Royal KH, and the Victory model has the smoky glass. So yeah, that's my sort of new child. There you go.
yeah. I don't know what to call
Nice.
the table it's on. It doesn't have a surface. It has.
Oh, kind of like the Burroughs stand. Is that what you're talking about? Like just a rack?
It looks like a rack. I mean, yeah, there's actually there's actually some flip up sides, but the surface where you set the typewriter, it looks like it's just for the table. It's just for the typewriter legs. There's no surface underneath the typewriter, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the Burroughs is like that.
Oh,
Some of them are. The Moons Hopkins, anyway.
oh, okay. Well, that's the sort of table that this one is sitting on, and I've kind of watched the price go down, and it's like, I don't see it going anywhere, which is cool. But on the other hand, do I really need another standard typewriter? No. But it's kind of hard to pass up on one that looks as nice as this one does, So
I don't know much about the gray paint. Does anybody else know anything about that? Was that original, or is that just like a repaint? Because I've seen it offered and I just don't know. Anybody know about that Royal?
Basically, any gray colored machine that isn't like a the KMG,
Yeah.
or the little quiet deluxes, is
Yeah.
all going to be refurbished, because
Okay.
50s, that was the choice of paint that they used for any refurbishing. You'll see Underwoods in this paint, you'll see Remingtons in this paint, you'll see Royals, and that's all because they got refurbished, usually by a dealer.
it's like a gray crinkle finish.
Yeah. That was really the popular paint in the 50s.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Whereas
it's in really great shape. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the decals are nice, and the paint is really it's not in bad shape at all either.
Yeah, a lot of you'll see it's harder for machines that have been refurbished in the 40s and the 30s, because in the 30s they used like Japanning
Mhm.
black lacquer. And in the 40s, they used the black crinkle paint, which was what everyone was using for their brand new machines.
Oh,
And when you see that change in the 50s, it's because they were using the paint that was for brand new machines at that time, but they were putting it on machines that were, originally black crinkle painted or black lacquer painted.
oh,
That's
okay.
that's why it's so much easier. That's why it's so shocking to see a, 40s or 30s machine with gray crinkle paint on it, because that's just not normal for that time period.
Oh, I see.
Interesting. I suspected Ted would know the answer.
Well,
Ed knows the answer to a
I
lot
know
of.
that one anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool.
I have a new one I can share if you'd
Oh,
like.
sure.
I'm Katie, and I'm on Instagram, Typewriter Alliance. So I drove down to La Crosse after work, which is like 143 miles from the Twin Cities, on Friday, and I went for one, and the guy brought a second typewriter along that I said I would maybe be interested in that one, and so I got this Underwood leader, which is a 1939 Depression era model, and it has a hang tag. And I got a picture of that on my Instagram. And so it's really in nice condition. So I've got all my typewriters on racks now. So they're organized on the Metro shelves. I have 3 of them, and then I have my wooden display, and typewriters everywhere. It's kind of a thing, as you know. So
Oh, we know.
I got this little one, and I really like it. It's very cheerful. Crispy decals. So it's the Underwood leader, and it's got the matte finish with the spool caps intact. And this is the basic model. This was, they were saving money on the sorry, this has the carriage release tab over here. I think if you lift it up, there we go. Sorry,
What year again?
it's 1939. So there's no bell, which is amazing, and there's no right margin either. And then it's got really wonderful crisp decals. Like, they're
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I'm just amazed. So yeah, and then somebody put on those bumper feet, clear bumper feet. So yeah, that was worth $35, I think. So
Yeah.
so this just gets better. It gets better because there is this the guy that I bought this from had bought this specific machine from a guy across town. So it was just so interesting that, and then like the guy, so of course, I always make my trips worthwhile. You have to scope around and see if there's anything else. And so I found 2 more on Craigslist. And so there was this Underwood leader and the arrow I got from that one guy who's new to the typosphere. He had like this list of questions. And I said, do you, I just said, he's like, can I ask you some questions? And I'm like, fire away. I'm not doing anything else. It's Friday night. And we just got to talking for about 30-40 minutes about typewriters. And then I had to go and pick up those other 2. So I got 2 more typewriters. I got an Underwood leader from the 1950s in the blue color. And I got an a Remington Quiet Writer. And then I got a nice little table, black table for standard machines. So, and all those 2 typewriters in the table were $35 all in. So I gave the guy $40. And
Wow.
and I got a really, really nice 1943 Royal Arrow. 1943, which is amazing. The guy said he looked up the typewriter database and said, this is the last serial number. And it's past the ones that were military, like mill machines. So it's kind of cool. So I need to add that to the database, but
Yes,
so
please.
yeah, I need to get all my machines on there. So, and I've got somebody else's collection I've got data on too, I could add in. So anyway, I think it was a good trip. I got this one for 35. I picked up that Arrow for 65. It's in good shape. And then that Leader and the Quiet Writer. So all in, I spent like $135 for 4 machines and a table. And I'm thinking,
Nice.
bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Driving 6 hours. I mean, I had 6 hours into the trip. I left immediately after work and at 5 o'clock and got home at 11:30. And I was cruising the whole way. And that trip is so nice because it's on Highway 61 and it runs along the Mississippi River through Lake Pepin. And it's just so beautiful. And it's very dark because of the river. So that's the kind of thing that nourishes me, is driving to pick up a typewriter. So, but I really like this little one. I think this was a good find and it's in wonderful condition.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I picked up a similar one. It just doesn't say Leader. I have the same Nobel and all that, and 39 as well. I wasn't sure what it was. I just called it a 4-bank because it didn't say it was a Leader. So, but it was minimal, like minimalistic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta love the minimalism. I just can't get enough minimalism.
I like a bell and I like a margin.
Yeah, of course. But I think it's so interesting what a story these machines tell from where they came from. And there's no telling exactly where these machines have been. And it's kind of the fun part of the story. So yeah, that's it. I did my
Very cool.
typewriter ambassadorship this week. So bringing people into the fold. This guy was a professor at probably at UW La Crosse, and he had many, many questions for me. So I, indulged.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you again, Katie.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah. Excellent. Let's see. I want to be sure and speak to Indro because we don't often get to speak to him. How are you, Indro?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you in France?
I am.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's my view. It's quite all right.
yeah. It must be rough.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's good to be here. I think 7 weeks now. Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Nice.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought 2 typewriters. My Hermes and the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Excellent
I didn't
choices.
type yet. I was too busy.
Oh. But they're there for you when you need them.
Yeah, I went to what was it 2 weeks ago? I was in Barcelona. Let me get it. That was good fun because my daughter works in a hotel, and she gave me. Let me turn the camera. No, what is the camera? Is it here? No. How do I turn it? Where is it? Here. She was staying in this. She was working in this hotel, Cotton House, and I said, "Well, do you have some stationery?" And she gave me some. So I have a few
nice.
of those, so I can use them to type, send some letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Now I'm here. I'm gonna walk outside.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
There's my pool. Well, I have to fix it. It's half full, and oh yeah, there it is. There's the other side of the house.
My
Oh yeah,
goodness.
it's quite high. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
hear it. There's a river. There's a river there,
Okay.
and it's been raining all day, so there's a lot of water coming down. But it's okay. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So let me get the camera back to me. That's here. All right,
Wow.
go back inside. Yeah, my wife, she is in Holland. She has to work for 3 weeks. So she'll be back in about 2 weeks. And
Okay.
but it's okay. So my other daughter is here, and we do a lot of work together, mostly working outside.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wow.
all good.
That's
By the way, do
wonderful.
you know these headphones? Do you know them?
No.
It's they are called bone conductors.
Oh,
They're really cool. So there's nothing in
yeah.
my ear. It's in front of my ear, and
Yeah.
but I can hear very
Wow.
very clear. They
Wow.
just they vibrate. So
Okay.
you don't feel them vibrating except if you put them on really loud or whatever for music. But it's not really good for music. But
Yeah.
for audio books and things like that and phone calls, it's excellent. And I can still hear everything around me, so it's
Wow.
good. So just a big tip for everyone. You don't
Yeah.
have to close off your ears, so
Yeah.
you can do conversations and whatever. So okay.
Yep. Very cool. I I once saw something similar on, I think it was Facebook. And so it was a crazy low price, so I went ahead and bought it. And when they arrived, it was totally a scam because it sits there just outside of your ear, but these, it actually had a tiny, tiny little speaker that was putting the sound into your ear. It's like it was not bone conducting.
No, these
Oh man.
are shocks, I believe, and they're about $100. They're very good.
Yeah.
They're waterproof.
Yeah.
You can run with them, and the only thing is that they have they're connected to each other on the back,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
cannot use them like in bed or whatever when you lay down.
Oh.
They don't. Well, but you can run with it. You can work with it. Sometimes you even forget I have them on. I was
Yeah.
I was in my car here, and I was backing up, and I hear a beep. And I thought, like, what is this beep? Must be something wrong. But there's no light coming up in my car. And so I continued backing up, and this beep was a beep, beep. And was, what is it? What am I doing wrong? And then I lost connection to my phone, and it was
Oh.
giving me a warning. But I didn't know I had them on. So yeah, it's
Oh.
good.
Wow.
It's
That's
funny.
funny. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've been watching all the blogs of Joe, so they're very funny and very good. So I like that. And I
Yes.
was doing some internet things, and I saw Diane, I think at what's it called, Herman's or whatever. No, is it Herman's?
Yeah.
Sherman's of Herman's. Yeah, I think I saw her there. So it's kind of funny to look around on the internet to all the people you know or are familiar with or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, it's so good to see you, Indro.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Bob, how are you doing? Hard at work, I see.
Reorganizing. It's the hardest thing I do. I put on Brandon's shirt that he sent to me last week, and also I
Ah.
felt like being as organized as him. And there are just some things Americans cannot keep up with Canadians with. Just saying. Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah, life has definitely been different. Been real busy, lots of emails, lots of phone calls. People are pardon me. people are excited, and so the answer is yes. For the last several years, I've been the guy doing Tom Hanks's typewriter repair, resurrection, reconditioning, whatever you want to call it. And just kind of started out as, oh, here's a few machines, and the answer is his assistants kind of take care of all this for him. He's not it's not like he calls me and says, hey, I need this, I need that, whatever. He writes me notes and sends me videos. Hey, I'm concerned about this on this machine, that on that machine. But he stopped doing that a while back. Like he kind of, which I take as a compliment, of course, right? Like, oh, he got that. I think I can get it going, and it's not hard to really pound on a machine, the way he does, and type it out and see what the machine can handle. So his assistants have been very gracious with me, my family, my concerns, and getting it all figured out. And the answer is we kind of got it figured out. And what can you do when you need to do your part, for lack of a better term, and spreading the good word of the gospel of typewriters in all the ways that you can? Well, this is, for lack of a better term, another way to do it. So got to hang out with him a bit Monday night at the Ebell on Wilshire. He was doing a symposium for his book, and I apologize. I just laughed. We had such a good time. He was supposed to go on stage at 7:30, and at 7:30, his assistant walks up the aisle and goes, "Hey, guys, come here." And he goes on stage late, and we pop out the side door at the same time. So a lot of the people in the audience were older people, and they're scowling at us as we're trying to take our seats. He's late because of you. Whatever. So that was a lot of fun. So I really give him a lot of credit. If you haven't checked out his new book, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece, it's extremely good. I've listened to it twice. I think it came out 2 weeks ago. You can get it on Audible. I really enjoy audiobooks, I've said before, because it enables me to work, type, wrench while I'm enjoying a good story.
Exactly.
And it's definitely
Diane has
a good
it.
story. Yeah, definitely a good story. Yeah, and that was fun when we went to the event. He handed us so everyone got a signed book. I got to tell you, there's not much value in this world anymore, but I got a book that was worth $32.95 plus shipping, and got to hang out with or see Tom Hanks do a symposium, a Chautauqua, if you will. And it only cost me $50 plus tax. I mean, I think it was like 58, 56, but whatever. And I just thought, this is like the best deal I've gotten in forever. This is as good as free gas or free bread or free cookies. I mean, this is really awesome. So I was really darn excited to get a great deal. And he was very gracious, and his assistant found us and said, "Oh, I'm sure he'd love to say hi to you. Hang on, let me." And then he was back there talking with the host. I sent the host a thank you, because the host is trying to chat with him or whatever, and then these typewriter guys walk in, and you can imagine we just nerded out in typewriter talk for 15 minutes before he hit the stage, and the poor host is sitting there going, "Well, I was really hoping to." Anyways, this guy John, what was his name? John Horn, just a very gracious soul in that regard. So it was nice to talk typewriters. It was nice to talk a little bit about the future. He's very excited in future meetings. He even said he'd love to come to Riverside, which isn't something you hear from people in Los Angeles. So
Yeah,
I thought that was exciting. So I think there'll be a bit more great future in that, and I really wish that ability on anyone. When you have a customer who's happy to put in strange requests, not that they're strange, they're just different than the norm, and they're happy to pay for them as well, it really enables you to expand whatever your operation is. And I've learned my operation is quite extensive compared to the next person's. And I'm fortunate that I come from that machine shop, wrenching, getting my hands dirty. I've got several lathes, I've got a small mill, I've got drill presses and hand tools and all sorts of things that you would find in a machine shop. And the trick to machine shops is that they're all specialized. Well, mine is kind of all set up for motorcycles, and at the end of the day, I've got the tooling, and so it hasn't been a big deal to, that's why I do my own platens, and that's why I've learned to recondition things. And if I have to spend $700-800 redoing a machine, that's okay, right? Or if I have to charge $700 or $800. But then other times it's just $20 because a bar was jammed up. So you never know. You never know what's going to be up and what's going to be down. But he was very courteous, and good to see you. Hey, now that we've hung out for a bit, now that we know each other and we've hung out for a bit, we can hang out a bit more in the future. Just it really is true, all that graciousness. And so and it's not just him. He tells all his friends, for lack of a better term. So I end up with all these people's typewriters going through my hands, which has really been a blessing. Anyways, I guess I could be gracious. I could be as gracious as I can be and ask y'all if you have any questions. Or no?
Did he mention anything about typewriters while in his talk?
Oh yes. Nothing. There's several mentions of typewriters in the books.
Right.
In the book. Well, as well as his other book, The Uncommon Type, right?
Yeah.
But no, nothing directly. I think as far as extra time to talk, because he was only on stage for, I think he was on stage for an hour. He might have been scheduled for an hour and 15 minutes, but that's my fault. Okay. He spent any extra time talking about the strike he went through in 1980. He started doing Booze and Buddies, and then the writers went on strike, and he said it very well. It all has to do with a pie, and in that pie, you want to get your piece of that pie. And when you have this little thing called, in-home theater, that pie's gotten bigger. So how do you make sure everybody gets their piece of that pie? And he said, I'm a member of every professional guild, and I'm very much currently on strike. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a really good chat.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the man has just done so darn much for typewriters and everything that we like to do. It's obviously I take very seriously what I do for his typewriter collection. And it's great to see how people can treat him. And it's not that he's inappropriate. He's just hard, right? He's hard on a typewriter, no different than if somebody strummed hard on a guitar. So I'd set the guitar up for them to do that. Honestly, the way he types would kind of wear me out. Like it'd wear my hands out, but he's got a lot of energy and a lot of strength. At one point, he was telling me a story, and he just got down on his knees and was like throwing his arms around and cursing, and like the whole room vibrated. And it was a dressing room, so it was probably the size of my dining room, maybe my small living room, but the whole room vibrated. And you could feel the man's passion and intensity with what he was saying, because he was so frustrated in this story. Anywho, it reminds you that his talents. Well, first of all, I think what I witnessed, anybody would pay $1 million to witness, because it was so greatly intense. Second of all, it reminds you that the man's good at what he does and good with people, and good in general, and works very hard at that. So, anywho.
Hey, Bob, but
Very
did he make any mention of the fact that he's recently been shipping out a bunch of typewriters to different shops and stuff?
No, not directly. We didn't.
Yeah.
I thanked him again for all he does for the typewriter community. And the thing is, or trick is that he was getting ready to go on stage. So everything was, for lack of a better term, about him. So he's kind of in performance mode, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just fortunate enough to witness it, be part of it. whatever he said went, for lack of a better term, because I can't. It would be hard to interrupt him because of how boisterous he is. Number one. Number two, he's a customer. I'd hate to interrupt him. So it was, he would ask me questions, and I know he showed me a machine on his phone that he was looking at.
Mhm.
I had to like find my glasses. Oh, hang on. He goes, oh, just leave them on all the time. You're gonna like, okay. That makes sense. So yeah, he's and I think the one thing I can warn people is, and it's always been the same, he's a lot taller than you would think. You'd expect him to be 5'10", but he's probably 6'1", and he's gotten so good at managing his weight and his diet. And he's been open about that he is diabetic. And for those of you who don't know, my father was extremely diabetic and asthmatic. And at the end of the day, it cost him his heart at 66, right? So my father went downhill so quickly and let diabetes just eat him up so much. We said diabetes my father looked like he could have been Wilford Brimley at the end, So you'll see Tom really aging quickly in the last 10 years. He's aged extremely quickly, but he's done very well managing his diet. He doesn't have the ability to eat for pleasure like the rest of us do. He can't eat something because and I don't know. I saw him do a food podcast a few months ago. It's on YouTube, and so you see him going, well, I'll take a bite of this because I like it, and a bite of this, but at the end of the day, I'm enjoying salad and chicken or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was. And so I really give him a lot of credit because I watched my father struggle with that. And my father was obviously not able to do it. My father got extremely big towards the end, had a heart attack, triple bypass, and passed away in my arms 5 days after his triple bypass. So it's awe-inspiring to see what the man has physically been able to do with his physical body to keep himself going. I'm really in awe about it. But again, I have a personal relationship to what diabetes can do to people, just like some of us might, like we might feel about smoking, or what we might feel about alcoholism or whatever else. So I think diabetes is something you can't see until years after the fact. It really takes 10 years. So anywho, I give him just so much credit for being so good at that.
I did notice, I guess on Facebook that he's really been making his rounds. There was a picture of him at TechSpace.
Yep. Yeah, he
Very
stopped
cool.
by. Well, and that was fun. Tony gave me a call, I think the day before, going, hey, is this real? And he sent me a picture of the email that was sent to him by one of his assistants. I said, yeah, yes, that's real. That's how that works. He thought maybe it was junk mail or something. He wasn't sure. Like, what does this really mean? I said, yes, that's real. That's how it works. And this is how it's going to work. And you're going to be fine and have a good time and stick to typewriters and enjoy yourself. And he really did.
Wow.
I think I told Tony, I think it's okay to tell everybody the good things you've done, the feat you've been able to make for us. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, it's just priceless for me to pick up the phone and go, hey, I need 2 sets of this and 2 sets of that and 4 sets of this and 8 sets of that. And okay, here's your money. A few $100 later, I'm stocked for several months. I don't have to worry about it. I love it. I probably keep $1,000 in feet here in the shop. Because boy, wow. And he'll tell me, okay, I'm going to send you this stuff in a few days, and then give me 2 weeks and I'll send you this other stuff. And it's great. It's such a wonderful service for the rest of us. And he's worked very hard at it. And I think it's only going to get bigger and better. And you think, well, what's the big deal? Typewriter feet. For most of us, we need a set here and a set there. And I'm doing 10, 12 typewriters a week. I'm doing 3 or 4 sets a week. It adds up quick. So it's very important. I go through feet more than I do platen rubber. So I think, or roller rubber. So I think Tony brings wonderful things. And if you guys ever get a chance, you really need to visit him. The thing about Tony is that when there's a customer in the shop, he's very good at customer service. And I've just sat there and I purposely said, I'm just going to sit here and watch how you handle this customer. And he is so good at running around for the customer, finding this, finding that, making sure they know that he's very interested in their business. And so we're very fortunate to have that, especially in some place like Portland. I'm not a fan of the city of Portland. The city's crappy. There's a lot of thugs there. I don't have any money invested there, so I really have no opinion. I'm just giving my American big-headed opinion. It's not a place I would hate. There's just too much drugs, too much junk. It's not appropriate for children, in my humble opinion. But he does very well there. So I give him just a ton of credit. So I'm glad. Yeah, I guess he bought a Corona Clipper while he was there. Maybe a few other things. I don't know exactly. So I think and I forgot to warn Tony. Tony's an average size guy. He's very good with his health and diet. And Tom is not. So if you look at the picture, I know Tony and I took a similar picture when I was up there, 2 years ago. And it looks about the same, right? So I forgot to warn him. Hey, by the way, Tom Hanks is a lot taller than you think.
I was actually surprised by that picture. I was like, wow, he's pretty tall.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I think naturally, it's a little intimidating. It's intimidating for me. My father was such a huge fan of Tom Hanks, and so my father loved to go to the movies every weekend, and he'd be like, hey, let me pick you up. I don't want to, I'm busy. Oh, it's a Tom Hanks movie. Okay, I'll go with you. So what do? You build in your mind one relationship, but the last few years, my relationship with the name Tom Hanks has been, how do I get his typewriters to perform as well as they can for him? So
exactly.
Or whoever he's given them to.
Yeah, that's amazing, Bob. That's excellent.
Well, I'm blessed. I'm blessed in that regard, and we've gotten to do a lot of exciting. How do we archive his typewriters? That was a big question 2 years ago, maybe. How do we there's all sorts of questions that pop up, and I get to help answer those in the ways that I can. And by doing that, it really enables me to expand my business and see what customers want and what customers don't want. And I think that statement's hard because some customers want a typewriter and other customers have huge typewriter collections. And how do you deal with that? I've gotten to study really archiving lately. So like all my machines have like 3 separate numbers. Sometimes 4, depending on what they are. And I think safety as well. How do you make sure that's been the hard one. I've had to transport his machines, personally, sometimes 4 or 5 at a time, in strange ways, through protests. I mean, just the funniest situations. And maybe someday I'll write about it when I'm no longer working on typewriters. I think that would be fun. But just the funniest situations where because all of his machines have a big black and white tag that say, from the Tom Hanks collection. They have a number, they have prints, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to hide the fact you're carrying around a Tom Hanks typewriter and you got to walk through a public parking lot where they're having a protest. How do you, So sometimes, and so that's been the funny thing. People will see me. There's actually a few pictures of me, and I'm carrying 2 typewriters, and I've got two of my typewriter towels, one over my hand, one in the handle, and I'm covering up that there's a Tom Hanks signature on the case, and that there's a Tom Hanks, whatever. Like it's the most ridiculous stuff. And these are just pictures that accidentally showed up at events or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So I think the answers are lucky me, but I worked hard for it. So
yeah,
keep it up, because like I said, they sent me a few, and then they sent me 6, and then they sent me 6 more, and then they sent me 6 really big ones, and then they, so it just adds up and up. So it keeps going. Luckily, these days, it's not luckily, but it just kind of trickles in these days, just a few at a time. He only has a few hundred typewriters, so only, if only half of them need service, well, then we're doing pretty good. So. But I think at the end of the day, the answer is the man brings a lot to what the typewriter can do for the average writer. There's a lot of writers lately have been calling with me lately saying, hey, I'm on strike. So I need I'd really like to come by and pick up a typewriter. I'm not working. Sure, come on by. Let's get you fitted. Let's get you fitted for said typewriter.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Bob.
Good to be seen. Good to see all you guys. I know, let me think. Brendan, I thank you greatly for the shirt. That was
Yeah, no problem.
freaking
It's,
awesome, as well as the other swag. And I think I finally realized last night I've got this great metal plate. Well, it's a guard on the backside of my lathe, and I need to start putting up cool stickers there. So I've decided that's my sticker place, because I've got so many cool people have shared so many cool stickers with me, and I've done my best to share mine, but it doesn't cost much I don't know. So what does it take to get a letter to Vancouver, BC?
That's just a stamp and an envelope.
A regular one US stamp will get it there?
I think it's a buck 47.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know mine to the States is $1.30 Canadian. So that's it's a little bit more to cross the border, but
Buy those international forever stamps like Susan's showing you right there.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
called International Forever. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like a buck each or buck and a half each.
Yeah, and that'll get it anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
yeah, cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And
I think that'll be fun. I don't remember. Okay, those are
Oh
international.
yeah, there's another one. Yep.
It's not that I care or don't care. I'm just not hip enough to keep up. You know, us Americans, we get stuck in our own worlds. We just forget that we've got neighbors to the north. I mean, most of them live within 90 miles of our border, but that's beside the point.
Exactly. I could be in the States in half an hour if I jumped in my car.
Right. Well, I guess I could be in Mexico in an hour, so it's all
Yeah.
I can go down. That's great. Anyways, thanks for letting me share, everybody. Good to see you.
Of
Happy
course.
Sunday morning.
Thank you. Susan, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's hard to follow Bob.
I
With
know,
all
right?
that Tom Hanks talk. But I was out of town the last 10 days, and I was visiting my typewriter whisperer, Darwin Raymond, in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And I dropped off my typewriter on Thursday. I dropped off a number of typewriters. Some of them were for other people in Texas, but I dropped off 2 of mine and for him to repair and restore. And one of them was Andre the Giant, and he restored it. And this is truly my spirit typewriter, this ambassador.
Oh.
So, you know, the story with Andre is he was dying of death by garage when I rescued him, and nothing worked. And I got him to type, and I knew I was going to love him. So I had to send off for the critical lever for the for the ribbon selector switch. And it's critical with Andre the Giant because he is a carbon ribbon feature fellow. So what's unusual with him is none of this worked. None of the carbon ribbon feature worked because the ribbon selector didn't work. And in order to get to the carbon ribbon feature, you have to be able to select the carbon ribbon. Did you see that turn? Let's try it again. Okay, so I can change from regular ribbon, which is here. And I don't know, maybe this isn't close enough. There we go. Maybe
There we go.
I can change from regular ribbon, which is what it's set at now, to carbon ribbon to take simply by switching that switch.
Wow.
So when I'm writing to you guys soon, I'm going to be writing half of my letter with carbon ribbon and half of it with regular ribbon.
Wow.
It's
Where do you
awesome.
get carbon? Where do you get carbon ribbon?
Okay, so here's the deal. You can probably get it just about anywhere. My typewriter whisperer has some. I got some from Jacques Perrier in Switzerland, and he sent me an extra one. And then there's a guy in Texas, in Houston, who has colored carbon ribbon, Brendan. So I'm going to have purple and brown, and I love color.
Wow,
Everything else.
Cool.
that is neat.
So I'm so thrilled, okay, thrilled. And apparently poor Andre was in worse shape than I was aware of. I couldn't set his margins, which are actually exactly like a 3000 flying margin, except it doesn't have the red ribbon that shows you where it is, because it was missing a gigantic spring that makes that margin system work, which
Oh,
I had no idea. I mean, I dropped this off on a Thursday. I picked it up on the following Tuesday. Can you imagine?
wow.
So he replaced the ribbon. I had sent off to get the platen and the speed rollers replaced. So I did that. This take up reel piece was new, also came from Switzerland. He changed the drawband for me because he just didn't like the look of it. It was working, but he just didn't like the look of it. He said it'll probably break, so change that for me. He got the margin system all working. He painted the little parts where I had places where the paint was, I had paint loss, and he fixed my little de-jammer key. Okay, so these have a little de-jammer key because when you put the cover on, you can't really de-jam them yourself with your fingers. So you just press and de-jams.
Wow.
So, you know, it feels exactly like a 3000 as far as type feel. The key tops are exactly the same and it feels exactly like it. Only it's more sturdy, more solid, bigger, you know. The carriage is really smooth. There's a little brush underneath here that brushes off the carriage every time it returns and comes back.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because when you go and visit one of these old school typewriter people, they don't even know. I mean, he's so busy repairing typewriters. The day I got there was like 6 gigantic boxes outside of his back door that he didn't even know was there, that people have sent him typewriters and stuff. And the day I picked up, the guy said, "Oh, I think I'm bringing you the whole truck of stuff, Darwin." There was just so many things. He's so busy repairing, bless his heart, lucky for him, which he never imagined that would be the case, that, you know, he doesn't really know. He's a member of the groups and stuff, but he doesn't really always know what's going on. So I had taken him up. This guy came with the metal Hermes branded ribbon spools. It came with 2 of them. So he always gives me a fresh ribbon with any typewriter that I pay him to repair. And I said, "Darwin, can you just do my ribbon on these spools?" And he said, "I have tons of those, Susan. Why didn't you tell me that you like those?" I said, "Darwin, you know I'm going to like those, but just do it on mine. But let me tell you something, those ribbon spools are valuable. If you go on eBay, they're like $45 each." He said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No, seriously, those are like $45 each." He said, "I've been giving them away when people buy a Hermes 3000 from me and they pay, you know, with my prices. I've been giving them with the Hermes 3000. I said, "Well, aren't those people really lucky to have you that gives them away?" I couldn't believe it. And also, I would just, you know, he also does really strange requests for people, to Bob's point, like he had just gotten through resoldering, changing machines from quartz to QWERTY. He did a Halda. He did, a friend of mine, I picked up his Groma N that I just brought back to Texas. And then he decided, oh, he'd do his own and sell it on eBay. And it's an Olympia SM1. It is gorgeous in a burgundy color that he resoldered and apparently there's more to it than just resoldering type bars. It's, you know, I don't really know. It has something to do with the throw or I don't know what. But anyway, he does that kind of thing. And then he showed me an Olympia and it was a SM3. It was cream colored and it has gold plating on it. So the carriage return levers plated gold. The trim around the front that usually is chrome is all plated in gold. The little Olympia logo is plated in gold. He said, well, I think I'm going to try and fix that one next. And I said, well, it's going to, I mean, if you try to sell it, people would definitely love that, because apparently they were something that was given to really excellent dealers of Olympia back in the day as a premium. You know, they said, okay, well, we'll let you have, you sold so many Olympias, made so much money for us, we're going to give you this typewriter. I said, I've never seen one. So that's pretty cool. And then I dug through all of his type balls for my Rosie, the Baby's Electric, which is still adorable. And Rosie's a 10 pitch typewriter. So the 12 pitch script ball, the little letters don't connect, you know, they are script, but they're not totally connected. And I got this little black type ball that is a script 10 pitch. And I've never seen that before. And this is from a company, it says on the top, AP. So Ted, who the heck is AP? Because we don't have a listing for AP anywhere that I know of.
I don't know.
And it works, and it looks like a vertical script from a Smith Corona.
Okay.
And I love it. And I also got a headline.
Oh, very nice. I've got that one.
I didn't, so I got a headline. And then I also I had my little letter Gothic one had the metal closed hinge, and that had broken, and I've been using the old ones pinchers to put it on. But I got a letter Gothic, and it says metric, and it has different symbols on it.
Okay.
Like, for example, there's an omega. It has, anyway, it's totally different than the regular letter Gothic. So I thought that was pretty cool too. And I had no idea that those existed or what those were.
Oh yeah, IBM would put all kinds of different type on a ball for you. If you, it's special order, just like you could do on a type bar machine.
Yeah.
They would they would like set up the matrices to the character set that you wanted, and then they'd press them all. And it was just a regular charge like they do for any other custom order thing. So yeah, you could get balls with any set of combination of type that you wanted. The catalog itself lists like hundreds of balls with just different character sets on them with, you know, one typeface, but a whole bunch of different character sets.
Well, you know, this is one of those instances where you go there and, for example, to tell me about the spring, he pulls a drawer open and there's like 1,000, and I'm not exaggerating, different size springs in this drawer. There's teeny tiny springs, there's gigantic long springs, there's medium-sized springs, there's ones that are wide, there's ones that are narrow. Some that to me look sprung, but apparently can be reused. I have no earthly idea. He said, well, fortunately, you know, for your ambassador, I had the spring. And I go, well, how did you know just by looking at it that the spring was missing? Oh, you know, when you've looked at enough typewriters, you know. And, you know, then as far as his type balls, they're all in boxes, and he just brings me all these boxes and says, okay, go through and look at, see what you want. And then we'll talk about how much it would be, because he has no clue what they sell for, you know. So I'm the one telling him, okay, this one's a more expensive one. This one is not so expensive. What's this black one, Darwin? I don't know what that is. Oh, I don't know, but it looks like it would probably work on your machine. So yeah, it was fun. It's fun to root around, you know.
Typewriter shops are the funnest. I will attest to that.
So I had a lot of fun. He just restored for himself an 1896 Hammond typewriter, and it works now. I mean, it actually freaking types. I couldn't believe it.
No.
And
He
who
said,
is
oh, it
this
was so
again?
much fun to work on something like that. I've never tried anything like that before. I just thought, okay, I'll work on that for myself. So yeah, I had a great time, great vacation, great travel, was lovely. You
And
know,
who is this, Susan, that you're talking about?
his name is Darwin Raymond. He's in Glenwood Springs, Colorado.
All right.
He
Yeah.
has been there. He's been repairing typewriters for 60 plus years.
Yeah. He's a good one.
He worked for a while out of Salt Lake City. His business is a family business. His dad owned the business. It's Raymond's Office Machines and Supplies. And he's just the sweetest, gentlest, kindest man ever, who laughs at me a lot and enjoys my love of everything Hermes. I went up there and I had painted my fingernails Hermes green. And when I started typing on the ambassador, he laughed. He said, well, your fingers just disappeared. So he's lovely. And he recently received a typewriter from Tom Hanks,
Very
which I
nice.
talked about on here a month or so ago, and was thrilled. He was thrilled to show it to me and show me his signed letter from Tom Hanks. And, you know, he said, I just couldn't believe it. I said, well, you do a lot for this community.
He's earned it.
Tom is spreading the love.
But he's a very, very sweet man who, you know, Ted has met him. He loves to tell people that he knows Ted Monk, you know,
He didn't even mention his parrot.
and his friend, Bill Wall. He loves Bill Wall. I said he's such a gentleman. I just love Bill Wall. But it's amazing what they have up there. You know, I mean, he hadn't worked on a ambassador in years and years, decades, probably, told me. And he had another ambassador that somebody sent him while he knew I was bringing up Andre. That one does not have the carbon ribbon feature. And he named it Queen Latifah. So Andre the Giant met Queen Latifah in Glenwood Springs.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah.
good.
I would tell you it's big, but oh, is it lovely to type on? That's all I have to say.
I bet.
I'm glad you told me about, I was wondering what the button was, the type bar release.
Yeah, it's right above the backspace.
Yeah, the one on the left.
Mine wasn't working properly. It would release the type bars, but then it wouldn't come back out. It wouldn't pop back out. So he had to fix that for me too.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I got a really wide platinum one right there.
We lost your picture.
Oh, there. That's why. As it pops up in front of. I got a really wide
Oh my goodness.
one.
yeah, it was probably used in an
that's right.
office and they had big forms or something that they had to fill out.
Yeah, I had to get
Wow.
one of those from Jacques as well. It was broken.
Yeah, they all break.
Yeah.
There is a person who is selling those, the 3D printed ones, and that's what Darwin got for Latifah because the person didn't want to wait
Right.
for Jacques, but I wanted it to be the green, and so I ordered it in advance, and he was kind enough to send it to me. And the take-up reel. If you don't have the take-up reel for the carbon, it doesn't work. So I was missing that. So that's really good.
You can put carbon in there and regular ribbon.
At the same time, because it has two ribbon vibrators.
Wow. That is
It has the back one is for the regular fabric ribbon. And then it has a front one slightly in front of that, and that's for the carbon ribbon.
Oh, and so when
As far as I know, it's the only one that is like that.
so you could select and one ribbon will go up and the other one won't.
Yes.
Neat.
Yes, and it's interesting because the carbon ribbon, the letters actually are thinner, and I think that's just the way that the Hermes type slugs are thinner and than with the regular fabric ribbon. They're thick.
Right. But they're only, can you do more than one pass with carbon ribbon?
No, but it's a pretty long thing.
Right.
And like I said, I know Darwin has these, and I'm, a lot of the ribbon people like fine line ribbons or in Ennis and probably Baco.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have them. And it's funny because I just right before I left, I bought a Royal FP that I'm gonna fix up because right now carbon ribbons are the thing here in Texas. We love them.
They're probably a lot longer too because they're so thin. So
and they
so
also they print so much crisper and clear.
Yeah. It to me, I always think about every time you're doing it, you're striking a key. It's a certain amount of money. It's not.
But I Darwin said to me, just remember, don't type any secrets on the
right. Yeah, there's a Columbo episode about that. And he caught somebody on an IBM selector with a carbon ribbon and
but my selector is a fabric ribbon. So it's not, I don't have, this is my carbon ribbon option right here. But yeah, so I had a great trip. It was great. It was awesome. Glad to be home.
Sounds like it.
It's always good to come home.
Oh yeah. Very cool.
Oh, and we are having a type in next month. I'm not hosting it. It's going to be in Oklahoma. So a member of Type House, his name is Justin Cruz. He just started his own business called Oklahoma Typewriter. And he is going to be hosting a type in at a historic hotel in Oklahoma. And I believe it's Saturday, the 24th of June. And so we're all going to go up there and support him because it's awesome that he's having a typewriter. We'll see how many Oklahoma people there are. I know there's a few because they've come to mind, but
that is so darn exciting. I'm so looking forward to that.
It's at a historic hotel. The hotel looks really cool too.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to make that one, but Susan, if I can add to that, I'm always so happy and impressed at all the things you say and the way you say them, because you really embrace everything that a typewriter lover and or customer of mine would say. So I said it when I met you. I learned so much from you, and I really enjoy all that you share on here. So thank you so much for sharing.
I can go on forever. So but I did want to get in about Justin Cruz's type in too, because I hope he watches the YouTube because he is a type pal of mine. I've been corresponding with him via letter well before he started his business. And he's a very nice young man. And he apparently is doing some great work. He recently restored a Royal O for someone, and so I just want to say, hey, that's terrific. And we need more typewriter people who are repairers, particularly in Texas, because we don't have a whole lot to choose from.
Yeah, I think that'll be the future. It'll be little people like him and I working out of our home shops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's great that he really was inspired to start his own little business. And, I'm very proud of him to put himself out there. That takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Susan.
It's always good to see you, Gregory. And thank you so much for hosting us every week.
I appear to be on Ted's screen as well.
Yeah, there's Gregory on Ted's screen.
He's getting a lot of use out of the sticker I sent him. I sent him a sticker of my face printed on a thermal printer. That's funny. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm very good.
Excellent.
Let's see. It's been a while. I got a SM8. I found in a thrift store that has script types. It's my first script typewriter. Very happy with that. And I've got, of course, got an SM9, so I make them fight on the table. I like to rock and shock robots with typewriters. They're very similar, but obviously the type's different, and I don't know, they're just neat. It's neat to have two. The new one I've got has the later style Olympia logo and thing on it. Let's see.
Yeah, the circle, the little red circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, I have one of those in script. It's the only script machine I have.
Yeah.
I've ever
I
had.
love more script.
Yeah.
So-
Mine's a 9.
Looked up SM8s in the typewriter database, and it's like a third under a script.
Wow.
I was very
Well,
surprised.
What's the difference between the SM8 and the Monica?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good question. They're very similar.
Ted?
I don't know, Ted. Paging Ted.
Marketing.
Marketing?
The SM8 has manual tabs.
Uh-huh.
There's a few fewer features than the SM9, and generally it was pointed towards the domestic market. So,
Uh-huh.
well, not domestic, but home market, like people who write letters. And so that's probably why you see a lot of them in script, because it was more of a correspondence machine.
Cool.
A little cheaper than the SM9 for people who didn't really need the special tabulator and stuff.
Yeah, what you asked was SM8 versus the Monica.
But the Monica doesn't have tabs, I don't think, at all.
Right. The Monica is an SM8 with a different name on it.
So
Okay.
it has manual tabs.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, in the back.
Good to know.
it is just a marketing thing.
I was
Yeah,
wondering.
I guess they were marketing to women.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, so, also, I was.
And
gonna
Brian,
try-
is that script, is that the 75 or the 69?
It's the 69.
Okay, cool.
It's got real short descenders, so it's not a
Uh-huh.
big. piece.
So you can use a
Oh.
bichrome ribbon.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty neat. And I was gonna see if you guys could hear the bell. I have my microphone out here. Way back a long time ago, in this conversation, we were talking about bells.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, a little bit. It cuts off the tail end of it, the resonance, I guess you might say, but
Oh, wait, let me turn my musician's thing on.
yeah.
Let's see if it makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
Ah, there it is. Oh yeah. It tickles my ears.
Okay, well, good. Well, that was worthwhile.
Yeah, it worked.
And other than that, I've been fixing stereo stuff, so not really.
Ah.
Even adjacent.
Nice.
I think I got the stapler since the last time I was on. I showed it on Facebook. It's a 767.
Oh yeah. The
Nice.
swing line.
Uh,
70s swing line.
Yep. Very cool.
That's that. And I brought my Underwood Star app because who was it earlier that was talking about their Underwood leader being real basic, not having a bell? Yeah. Mine has that. It has no bell and it has no right margin and it has no paper fingers. It has no paper bail. It's just fingers. Which I showed this here before, but this is a 1955 Underwood Star sold at Macy's. I was just trying to get in on that conversation, but it took a while. So
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much what I have going on right now. I've got that stereo with the retractable turntable on the top of it that I have to get some
Oh,
capacitors for, so they should be coming tomorrow. Finally get that off my table.
Gonna do some soldering.
Do some soldering. Yep. I'm looking. There's a really bad cap that I can see in the power supply, So I'm hoping it's there, and it's just the low rail that's causing all the transistors to not light up. But if not, I'm gonna have to start replacing things, just as I go in the circuit till I get something that works.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it's just power supply caps. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The transistors for it, I found out now, are germanium transistors. So I have to get new old stock germanium transistors if I want to fix it.
Oh, I guess you can't get them anymore, huh?
Oh, okay. I hope there aren't any bad transistors.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I got
Wow.
new lamps for the tuner display. I got LED ones, which are cool.
Nice.
They make this for Marantz and Sansui and stuff like that. And apparently the same ones work in this Panasonic. So I got blue ones and I got regular white ones. So I'm seeing the ones I like when I get them in there.
Okay.
Assuming everything else works. Or I'll
Very cool.
just turn the lights on and look at it sometimes. So I can see how pretty it is.
Yeah.
It didn't work, but I prefer if it did.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's what I got going on.
Very cool. And we see Koa in the background
Yeah,
relaxing.
DSM-9.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, Brian.
Well, good to be here. Good to be seen.
Excellent.
I was gonna
Excellent.
say, I fixed a lot of Tom Hanks typewriters too, but that's not all true. It's hard to follow, Bob.
I know, huh?
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Ted is joining us again in glorious black and white.
That's why you joined the thing late, so that you don't have to follow Bob.
Oh. How are you, Ted?
I'm doing pretty good. I was going to do a belt replacement on my cassette deck here live on TCL, but I got impatient and did it yesterday. So
and it went well.
I got deck 1 working, which is just the play deck.
Oh, okay.
Deck 2 is the record deck, and it has auto reverse. And I replaced the belts and fixed that problem, but there is a further problem deeper inside the gears that they have like half a dozen little plastic gears that all hook together, and like the drive head swings one way or the other, depending on whether it's driving one way or the other. And
exactly, yeah.
Somewhere deep in that mechanism is something that intermittently causes it to like drag and drag and drag, and then it stops dragging, and then it drag and drag and drag, and that causes the motor to go out of time, and the causes the tape to bunch up inside the machine, and it's just so I got to dig more into that, but I'm fearing that it's like some little plastic gear that is irreplaceable, that I'm going to have to probably just get a different deck.
Yeah.
Something that's simpler, doesn't have auto reverse.
Exactly, yeah. That's
They
usually
don't
a
make
cause of
40-year-old tape
problems.
decks like they used to.
What was that?
They don't make 40-year-old tape decks like they used to.
Yeah, well, it's 89, so it's got one of those boards that's really well marked. Like everything is really laid out real nice, and it's
nice.
easy to work on, but those little plastic gears.
I'll get you.
Yep.
So anyhow, that's what happened with that. And and then I got your mail and started making some new stuff to send back to you. You get confidential box number 402. And,
nice.
And that's a letter already made for you, and got some other stuff I'm going to make and put it in there.
Cool.
Send you back. I do appreciate the wide variety of experiences like this tea that
yeah.
I'm trying the French roast now. I just drank the Java this morning. And I did have cream with it. That's a good
Nice
question. So
yep.
And now I'm just going through and proofing the copy that I got last night of the Corona 4 and Zephyr Repair Bible.
So I saw you you were like quickly marking the highlighter just on certain spots. So what was it you were checking there? I think it was
I am finding every reference in the text to a page number.
Okay.
It says to remove paper release lever bracket, it is first necessary to remove the platen. See removal and replacement number 10 and on page number 25. I have to find all those page numbers, and because I changed the page numbers, I have to go through and fix every single reference to a page.
Oh no.
So that's just the way that worked, because I cut off the
Yeah.
page numbers on the original.
Ah.
Yikes.
Well, there's new page numbers anyway, so
Yeah.
it's just better to go through and fix them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. That'll take a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyhow, and what else? I think that's it.
Okay.
Got my new Zoom set up.
Nice.
Very happy about that.
Yeah. I'm very glad you're enjoying those teas.
Yeah.
Because I had thought of it as like a coffee replacement. Is tea chino for those that don't know.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
it's supposed to be like a healthy coffee alternative. And it's scary how close the flavor is to coffee.
They're very, very close to coffee. I was like, this is way more coffee-like than tea-like on some of those.
Yeah.
It's very, very like I said, flavor forward. Like it's when it states it has a flavor, it really puts that out there. I like it. It was really good. Or it is
Yeah,
really good because I
excellent.
got a few left. And
Very cool.
I love that you carried around your little micro cassette recorder and described everything that you put in the package and told the
Yeah.
story behind it. That was really cool. And that was a full experience that I really
Excellent. Oh, have you attempted to fix the little painting?
not yet.
Okay.
It just looks like this. It's got mostly paper residue along the top and the side here.
It still looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I might try a little water on a brush on it, like you said, and
Yeah.
maybe try to clean it off, but I'm not going to worry too much about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to destroy it.
It's a 2x2 painting, and I'm not likely to be famous for painting, so
Well, you never know, so I'll keep hold of it.
very cool.
Small, so I don't have to worry about the storage. I can actually glue it in a book. I should probably do that. Put that in my EDCN archive.
There you go.
Now I'll have to scan it as a blog post.
Yeah, I was the original plan was to put a magnet on the back, but then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
This could be
tape magnets.
Yeah, it's gonna be traveling with an audio tape, and that doesn't work.
That's a bad combination.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Very
yeah, I
cool.
don't haven't got any new typewriters. I'm very happy with my kind of paper storage book here. So
Yeah.
pocket to that so I can carry more stuff.
What have you been typing on lately?
Lately, I have been typing on Little Jake because I had a lot of letters come in all at once. Like the last 4 or 5 days, I've been getting a letter a day that I've had to reply to. So
yeah,
wanted to use. I really like the feel of that typewriter. It's like you said, it's pretty simple. It's got no margins or bell or paper bail or any kind of those niceties, but it just has a great touch on it. And you get to watch those type bars kind of flop around as it's the raised type bar basket, and it's got a great font on it. And so I've been just basically every letter I've replied to this week has been with that machine.
Nice.
So it's that one, probably the new Skywriter I got occasionally for like blog posts. I think I typed something to you on with that one. And
oh, cool.
And then of course my 440T brother that just basically sits on top of the Selectric and right next to my desk. Anytime I need something that types in Elite, it's reliable, that's where I spin around and grab that one.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that's about it. This is my little mini Gregory. Oh, he fell over.
Oh, I fell.
You fell. There you are.
There we go. I'm in glorious black and white now.
Well, you're in black and white anyway. It's a black and
Well,
white.
yeah, the sticker is black and white because it was thermal. It's like a bobblehead.
It is a bobblehead.
Okay.
It's stuck on a bobblehead.
Ah, that is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
So
Oh
I
man.
step away from the camera, then I put that up there.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh man, that is so funny. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, Ted.
It's good to see you too. I enjoy being here.
Awesome. Christoph, how are you doing?
Hello,
Hello.
I'm fine.
That's good. That's good.
It was Olympia weeks, Olympia month for me.
Oh.
Last day I had a talk with a friend. We talked about Facebook Marketplace and the possibility to have things for free. People give some things, and I looked on Facebook Marketplace because this is the worst marketplace on the web. Facebook Marketplace is very awful to use.
Oh.
And but sometimes, because it's people don't like this marketplace, sometimes you could find some cool stuff. And I wrote things for free items, and I had a little surprise.
Oh.
For 0.00 euro for free, gratis.
Wow.
This is if you can read the plate, if my phone wants, SGE F52 Olympia. This is non-working. The mage is locked. I have a big problem inside. A plastic well is broken. It's really, really, really heavy. It's heavier than Selectric. It's terrible, and but it's a cool, beautiful machine. And if you want to compare with a classic SM9, this is the size.
Oh wow. Yeah. My goodness.
It's very, very big. iPhone. Sorry.
Wow. Gonna need a bigger desk.
Yeah.
And on the bigger shelf. And but iPhone exactly the same machine next to my city. I will buy it in June because the people is on holiday, and I got it for 0, but the other one I got it for $30, and I don't know how I will if I repair this one or if the other one works. I don't know if the other one works, but to open this one, is you have a little up. You open here, up.
Oh wow.
So the broken part is under the system. It's very hard to reach. I don't know if I could. I don't have the skills to repair it. That's bad because it's a very, very beautiful machine, and the the electric plug is like this.
Oh wow.
And up. So it's I'm happy for €0. I will not be unhappy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Paper rest alone is the paper rest alone is worth $20.
Yeah.
So I found for very cheap another report electronic. Up. I have to get out in my secret place. I got this one for $5.
Oh wow.
It's yellow by cigarette smoke. The pad is I don't know, it's sticky. It's not working very well, but for parts it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But it works actually. It works. The electric cable is cut. I can't, but I have the other one. So I had it for very cheap. So if mine is broken, I have some parts. Yeah. Ooh. And today I went to a flea market, and I found a photo. If I can share, yes. This Canon. If you can see, can you see it? No.
No.
No. Ay. It doesn't work. Sorry. The share from Zoom isn't working very well. I will try a second time. Photo, gallery.
There we go. There it is. Oh wow.
Canon electronic with a daisy wheel and other parts. I didn't purchase it because it's too much big. It's a very, very big machine, twice the Olympia. And I found this one. If I tack. Yeah, this one is different. It's a ball typewriter. It's a facet.
Oh yeah.
With balls.
Huh.
It's very ugly. And on the ground there was another electric Olympia. So I will see if I go back to this village, if the guy sell again his Olympia. Perhaps the Olympia will interest me. But so I have to make some place on my shelf.
You can do it.
So I have to see if I can buy the other Olympia SGE in a few weeks and check if this one is working. Perhaps I will mix the two typewriters to have one working. It will be cool because the noise of this electric is very cool. I like it. It's a very beautiful machine.
Yeah.
And for fun, you see the size Wait a second. Up. Of Olympia Splendid.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love those. That's like one of my favorite typewriters.
And I have no place on my desk because I have the report electronic. And the difference between the report electronic and this one is very interesting. The weight is because this is so much heavy, and the report electronic is so much light. It's very funny to have the difference between two electric typewriters. Well, of course, this is an official Olympia, but the report electronic is a Nakajima.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So
wow.
I have a lot of work to do with this one. It will be, and I'm thinking about to buy the collection of Olympia Splendid, because I found a 99 or 33, I don't remember, because I have the 66, but there was 3 models, 33, 66, and 99. I will I would like to have the three models. I found 99. It was a 99. I found a 99 in an antique shop. I will see if the 99 is still in the antique shop, because I didn't came back in the shop since a while. So
excellent.
Yeah,
those are some interesting machines you have. What's that?
Sorry.
I was just saying those are some interesting machines you have.
Yes, I need more place at home.
Yeah, especially with those big ones. My goodness.
The problem is I love office machines.
Yeah,
I love big typewriters, electric or mechanic, but like this Remington, or this electric, of course, or with Japy or Hermes, which is the same. And with I love massive big typewriters, but my house is not so big.
Yeah.
But you have to buy smaller machines. You're buying the biggest ones out there.
I know.
Those are big machines. Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
The cool thing about the big machines is the price.
Free is hard to turn down.
Yeah,
exactly.
People don't like to have this very big machine, especially if people are old, because they say I can. The guy who gave me this Olympia said, what can I do with this? It's heavy, it's very big, it took so much place in my garage. I can't keep it. So this is why he gave me. But everything works except the broken part inside. And it's very beautiful machine, very massive. I like it, and the difference between the SM9 and the electric is very cool.
Yeah,
but I love massive machines, which is so cool. Which is up. So I have a lot of work in the future.
Yep.
Because for me, I'm a newbie, so for me it will be a very hard challenge to to repair or to try to repair this one.
You
So,
can do it.
yeah, I can do.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the second electric I will buy, all these parts are white. This is black and the other one, all these touch are white. So I will see it when the people will came back from vacancies in June.
Yeah.
But Olympia electric are very cool. I remember that Joe get a lot of electric Olympia.
Yeah.
And these are very cool machine. Very, I really like it. So
Yeah.
that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's always good to see you, Christoph.
Thank you.
There's a guy that Rick Van Krugel knows, and I think he might have passed away, and he has a house full of typewriters, and they're all like big old Remington and Underwood 5s and just the big standards, rows and rows of them. And I guess he was a bit of a hoarder, but they want them gone, and I feel like I have a feeling they might just throw them in the dump or something, and it'd be like so terrible to see that. And you know, I can't take them all.
You can try though.
I know, but it sort of kills me when I think, you know, somebody messaged me the other day too. Hey, I got this big old Remington. I don't know what to do with. I'm gonna throw it in the dump. And I'm like, you know, give it to me and I'll put it on Marketplace for free or something, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That hurts to see like rows of these old machines. Standards aren't an easy sell, you know. They're but
definitely, yeah. There's specific ones that, you know, people really like and are more popular, I guess you might say. But yeah,
the problem is people don't cover them. They don't take care of them. They're out in the elements. I've kind of gotten to where any standard that we're going to work on, chances are no one's used it in 10, 20. It's a minimum $300 because it just takes so much extra work.
Yeah.
Diane's sitting there over going, yeah, yes, it does. She knows, you know, it's so much extra work. There's not a chance in heck you're going to get away from cleaning. You're going to get away from chemical cleaning. You're going to get away. You can't get away from any of it. Even if they're really, really well used, chances are they weren't covered. So I'm really excited of all the different. The more we can promote cover your typewriter when you don't use it, the better we're going to be. Unfortunately, we love looking at the typewriter, so chances are that
we need different covers.
Yeah.
We
Well,
need
and
covers for them.
yeah,
Yep.
no, I agree, and that's why I came up with set affordable option that's semi multi-purpose, because boy, it takes so much work to get all that extra dirt out of them, and they're big, and they're to wield one, you really need the strength of someone like me or whatever. So although I'll admit my assistant Grace, you know, my worker Grace here, she does pretty well moving them around the shop as needed, but holy heck, it's extra work. I actually just came up with a board system. I made some oversized plywood boards. They're old shelves actually, and I turned those into, well, let's put the standard on this and we can carry it around on this. That way we can, you know, we can extend, so we can carry it like this instead of trying to carry it like this. We can, we'll try it out, right? We'll see how it treats us, because they're so big. So you have to, the cell is always the hard part. I can, and again, they're so big, who wants them? So
Yeah.
I think though, when you start typing on a standard and you feel how they type, and the other thing is the standards, they want to continue typing even though they're in crappy shape.
Yeah.
There's something about them that they want to keep working. They were designed to work and they
Yeah.
really want to work. I have two, well, now I have three because I have the FP, but I won't be having that for long. But I have an Olympia SG1 and I have this Ambassador. And I tell myself, okay, that's it. No more standards. But when you see one and you actually type on it and you see how it's going to feel, because it is a totally different typing experience versus a portable. And I love the mid-sized portables. I do. I love them. And I love the ultra portables. And, you know, they all have their purpose and their reason. But everyone should have at least one standard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you really are going to do any long typing, you really need something that is so comfortable and they move so smoothly and I don't know, there's just something about them that just makes me, you know, you have to have it. I mean, Andre was really for his looks at first, and then I got him to work and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the smoothest carriage I've ever used. It is so easy. It's even smoother than my SG1, which is a gorgeous machine.
Uh-huh.
You know, and has a lot of extra features. But you until you actually type on one, it is easy for me to talk to people and I'm at a type in and I go, okay, now what you need is you need one standard. So you need to try a Royal 10. You need to try a or that. You need to try all these different ones and find your one and save it. Because it is heartbreaking to think that these things are going to be in the trash.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
See, there's Joe pointing at his.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to me, you know, to think that, oh, somebody's just going to trash it.
Yeah, they lasted 80, 90 years and then they're going to go in 1 second for no other reason than somebody doesn't want 40 of them in their house.
This is a 1920 Underwood 5.
Yeah.
A 1920 Underwood 5?
Yeah. Got it from
No.
Ted. New platen. Ted put on a new platen, and this thing runs great, you know. So
Yeah, he has that machine because I didn't want to have the standard sitting around for.
that's right.
I have 3 of them on my porch just so when people drive by, they know if they've got the right house or not.
Yeah. That's how I
Anytime
find your house.
Sitting up on the porch. Greg's seen it. Like it kind of
Yeah.
works, you know.
My speed typer in air quotes, that was originally, and I'm talking about Smith Premier 4. It was supposed to be a parts machine because it was missing a few keys here and a few keys there, but the directional keys on it, you know, once we saw those, you know, and somebody else saw these, oh, you got to restore this. And I'm just looking at him like sideways, like, I've never done this. I'm barely into this hobby at this point, but I did. And it's a great machine. And I've showed it on more than one occasion. And the before and after pictures are actually on the typewriter database. But yeah, it's from 1899.
Wow.
And it types well. Joe has typed on it.
Wow.
He's nodding. Yep.
Yep.
It's one of the few times that we actually have a picture of him in a type out typing.
Well, I
Yeah.
completely agree. They're wonderful machines. That Hispano Olivetti, if you guys remember working on that one a year or two ago, I've never met its match. That was still my favorite standard. I don't know what they did right. I don't know. I have dreams about that machine still. And it hasn't come back, of course. They never come back, but I hope someday to find something like that. And it's not a joke. It's 48 pounds of typewriter versus, 38 pounds. Like you feel it, trying to move it around. And they just said, we're going to make the biggest, best, heaviest typewriter in the world. And they did. So that's been my love. But heck, I love you. Susan, with all due respect, you're going to find a number 5. It's going to have white key tops, glass keys.
I've already typed on number 5. I'm not getting another saber.
It'll probably be a number 4, so it'll be like 2 inches narrow or half an inch narrow. So you'll go, oh,
No,
it's smaller, even though it's a standard. I'll get it. I'm just saying.
My heartstrings do pull though for when someone says, oh, I have to get rid of this. It's either somebody picks it up for free or I'm going to throw it away. It's hard for me to hear that. It is really hard because I want to go, no, you can't throw it away. It's going to find it. It's like the animals, the cats and dogs, we'll find it a home. I'll foster it for a little while and then
I've fostered 160 machines.
I'll foster it.
Wow.
Hey, that's it.
Could have been cats. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
At least they're quiet. They don't eat anything. So
Yeah.
They don't rampage through the house or walk across the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just tickle their keys every so often. They're just fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just imagine the litter box situation if you had that many cats.
And
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Well,
Okay,
I
beyond
do
that.
I do have to say that we occasionally cat sit for our friend who has 15 cats, and those are some instead of boxes, it uses these big storage containers that are like intended to go under a bed. And they're huge, and she uses those as litter boxes, and there's like multiple in multiple rooms, and it takes a while to clean those out. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, it
Is
does.
is Bob showing us some clouds? It looks like some clouds there.
What is that? Oh,
Or
I'm
maybe
so
he's-
sorry.
Oh.
That's my blue towel. My blue towels came down. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I thought
I'm so sorry.
either it's some clouds or he's smoking, so I don't know which.
Now there it goes again. This whole thing. Oh, for crying out loud! Now I gotta. It's always so fun setting up a bench, and I'm constantly tweaking and retuning my bench, and
Yeah.
you just kind of learn what works and what doesn't. And honestly, I mean, Gregory's seen it. It kind of looks like a big pile of crap, doesn't it, Gregory? But everything is. I mean, nothing's shiny, nothing's new, nothing's all on wheels or stainless steel like some people. But everything's within reach, and I actually just I got these great boxes. They're rubber, just for my Dremel bits, and I just mounted it on my new rack. I think I showed this off last week. My new tool rack. So like right
Wow.
in the top middle, I mounted it. So I'm like, well,
Nice.
so as I need the tools, I'll go through. But I kind of made this rack. It's 22 inches long. There's a 2x4 and some 1x2s, and holy heck, it's wonderful. I can even hang my hot glue gun on it to get her going. But this is a terrible way for me to show things off. But my point is, you're always tweaking, you're always moving, and I think it's okay. And I've literally got a monster large box behind me full of bins and plastic and tool holders, and then I've got another bin over here in the center of the shop, and we're just throwing in stuff we don't think we'll use. I mean, why would I need to keep this in my Typewriter tool bench? Obviously, this is going to go out back with the welding supplies. So and then I don't even know, like I've got Monster Eyelet. Why would I need this in the shop? This doesn't need to be in the shop. We're going to put this out back with the hardware, right? It's just not something you need in the shop. So my point is, it's okay to constantly tweak and redo and have a good time with it. And why not? Like, what's important to you? What isn't important to you? And I think we've got a case bench behind me now. I mean, this is all our stock here, all this stuff. But we put the case bench behind that. It's a stand-up bench. So we're doing, so what do we need there? And we've got a whole other tool bench back there. I've got a detail bench in the corner. I've got another bench here. We're having lots of fun. I think it's okay to figure out what I know I look at like Brendan's setup, just because I like picking on him because he's the only Canadian in the room right now. Sean ran away. But
Oh,
you've got all those cool typers right behind you, and I think a lot of those probably work, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of them work. As soon as I get them going. I make sure when I get one, I mean, I don't get them perfect. I just want to see type on them, and then I get them,
yeah.
put them on the shelf, and then I'll get to them in no specific order whatsoever. It's just I'll randomly go, what do I want to work on now? If you just did a Smith Corona 5 series, you want to do something else, so I'll pick an Underwood or a random. Something that I really want to get to. I really want to get to my Erica M, my 39 Erica M. That's one I really want to get to, and my Oliver 3. Those are going to be my summer projects where I really dig deep and go hard on those. And it's
well, and so that's really great and exciting for you, but I could not ever house a machine that actually works in my space. Every machine in this particular building does not work at all. If it works, then it goes to the showroom, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
it's great to see the differences in, and we've got very extensive database records on what does what and what works. And obviously, once it hits the showroom floor, it's immensely amazing quality. Or it goes in the done on the done shelf, for a customer. But I've learned those machines don't stay there. I've never had a customer spend more than a week coming to pick up a machine. Like once I call them, I tell them their machine's done. They're so within a day or two, they're picking it up. And I love that. And I love sharing that. And I don't think it's because I've talked to them. I tell them, oh, don't, you got 30 days before, let me know if we can work with it. No, a day or two later, they're knocking on the door. Come on, I'll take my typewriter. Show me what I got to do, so. I think that's always exciting, but no, I could never have a working typewriter in this spot. Everything in here absolutely does not work. And I've got a few other piles of typewriters that do not work, right? So I think, well, most of my typewriters are, and it's not that they don't work. I just wouldn't sell them with my name on it. They probably work pretty darn good compared to most people and most things, but we've set
Hey,
our
Bob.
standards. So. Yeah,
I have a question for you, Bob.
sure.
When should I plan to come out to Riverside?
As soon as you
Ooh.
plan to come out, I'm going
Yeah.
to make the nipples I need for the press to get the press that I want on your case.
Okay.
There it is. I'm looking at it. So I think if you were to say I'll be out there tomorrow, I'd figure it out tonight. Because right now, I've ordered the 2 sizes of nipples that are supposed to work on the press for your hardware, but they don't. And I'm not using your case as a test case. Obviously, I'm using a piece of extremely thin plywood that's the same thickness as your case. They just don't leave a good impression. So yes, come out tomorrow. Come on anytime. Joe, you're always welcome.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know. I'll email you and let you know.
Wow.
That would
Probably
be so
be
exciting. And
It might be early June. I don't know, because we have a type out in later part of June, but maybe early June. I'm not really sure. I'll let you know.
well, I
that
think
would be
that would
amazing.
be great. And I got a material that's similar. First of all, I really want to thank you. I got to go to 2 upholstery shops here in Southern California to pick out the material. And I would show up and I'd go, well, I'm looking for something, it's like this ribbed with a bit of ocean movement. These guys were on it. Like they were so excited. Oh, an old case. We wish more people did this so we could sell you. Joe, I've spent no less than $300 picking up a yard of this and 2 yards of that because I think this is great. Like this is close and this would be fun. And so I just need to thank you greatly. And it's fun. I was cruising around with my girlfriend going, this is great. This is like what Google was. You just cruise around, knock on the door and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Do you have it? And they'd go, oh, yes or no, or you're crazy or it's spam kid or whatever. So it's really, this is how we Googled back in 1989. We just drove around and knocked on the door of places and said, hey, do you have this? So
Gas
I've
was
got
cheap.
something that's really darn close.
Gas was cheap.
Right, that's true. This was, yeah, I was luckily I was in my truck, not the excursion, so that helps. But the little F-150 keeps going. But yeah, it's just a ton of fun, and I really hope to recover more cases in the future. I just don't know if people are going to pay for it. I don't know if it's something they'll be interested in, because it's quite labor intensive, and I really need to get better at figuring out, the press and the nipples that you can use for the
rivets.
For the rivets. Boy, being 40 something can be rough sometimes.
Tell me about it.
Wait till I'm 50. I won't even remember who you people are.
Wait till you're 65.
Yeah, I give you credit. My hat's off, sir. You're doing very well.
Yeah, we'll get together. I'll let you know, and we'll get together. I'll let you know when I'm going to come out. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that would be great. And I'm sure Gregory would love.
Oh yes, definitely want to see Gregory again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, you're always welcome. Whatever is needed, we're in.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, Joe.
Joe, what is that? Typewritten what? Letterworks?
Typewritten Letterworks. Yes, that's my letterhead.
Oh, cool.
Let me see if I can get. I don't have a zoom lens on my camera here, so I have to wing it now. I'm using a wider lens, so let me just get this up here, and you probably can't see it. Let's see, focus. There you go. Right about there.
Oh,
yeah, that's
cool.
my new letterhead.
Nice.
Well, I've been admiring all the letterheads from all these people that write me letters, and I decided I had to up my letterhead game a little bit better, so so I went into some clip art and tried to figure out something that would work, and I kind of like that factory logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, it's pretty fun. So
yeah,
but this old Underwood 5 is a great machine for typing on. It's just great.
Yeah, I noticed you got a lot of typing done in this meeting.
Oh yeah, I got 2 letters and a postcard. And
wow.
I've also been trying to. I bought a pack of a bunch of different stickers, and I probably showed this a few weeks ago, but I got all these different stickers that you can stick on. Like there were like some botanical stickers and old-fashioned, just all kinds of old-fashioned stickers. I even have some astronomical stickers. I have a bunch of these fake stamps that you can, stamp on the back side of the letters, and there's one that's just full of astronomical and astrological stickers, and so it's fun to decorate the back side of an envelope like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So,
yeah.
Of course, people who are crafters know all about all this stuff. I'm just kind of a newbie to the whole sticker idea, but it's fun.
You're used to cut and paste.
Cut and paste, literally, exactly. With glue sticks.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. All right. Well, we're about at the end, unless anybody has any last minute comments or questions or anything
Can
like
I
that.
say something? Would you mind?
Yeah.
Just a big thank you to everybody. I kind of forgot to mention it. Obviously, the whole Tom Hanks thing was a security issue. I've got children, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, thank you all for being so kind and your professional friendship and whatnot. And I appreciate y'all. That's all.
Oh, we have the warm fuzzies now.
We appreciate you, Bob. You're a great
Yeah.
asset to the community, and you're a nice person too. So
yeah, you're a pretty cool guy.
And we're super proud of you.
Yes.
Oh, now that's cool. Thanks.
It's like we've watched you grow up right before our eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And I think the mechanics of it are all real easy. Figuring out how to stay in the black and keep money coming in, and figuring out how to reinvent the wheel, because there aren't a bunch of old guys around to knock me over the head if I do it wrong, like there is in motorcycles or guitars and whatever, right? So well, and we've been real fortunate. People will take my calls, people will take my money, people will all the things, so you never know. But we're very blessed in this community to have a lot of good people who will do for each other. Sometimes it's free of charge. I'm always happy to pay for it. Of course, you never know. So lucky us.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up. But I want to thank everybody for being here, and another excellent meeting. Lots of fascinating things. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Have a great
Thanks,
week,
Gregory.
everybody.
Thanks,
You
Gregory.
too.
Bye. Have a
Thank
great
you.
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Thanks,
Same bat
everybody.
time, same bat channel.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Keep your
Thank
top
you.
slugs
Bye-bye.
clean.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Now I need a third hand to click the off button.
Oh, I'll do
well.
it for you.
Bye.